Hey everybody, Rose Matter here. Welcome to the finale of Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel and the finale of Fate Stay Night. So we're going for the true end of the final route. I think this is probably going to be a shorter episode because usually the true ends aren't super long. So apologies for a shorter episode this week, guys, but at the end of this video, we will also be announcing what the next Let's Play series will be. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. And hopefully you're looking forward to my reaction to the finale, and I'm excited to see how it's going to end. Let's go. Alright, so this one we want to use... No, we want to wait for our chance. I almost made the wrong choice. We want to wait for our chance. I trust her. I have to trust her and wait. What good will it do even if I attack Saber now? What can I do with my projection that's already prepared? Our plan's already been determined. Ryder accepted my strategy, temporarily acknowledging me as her master. So... Saber's sword cuts through empty space. Ryder has already retreated out of Saber's range, and it's the greatest retreat possible. She jumps back to the edge of the cavern. Saber can't pursue her. Ryder's chain is tangled around her legs. That's why Ryder went on her knees. Ryder persistently attacked Saber's upper body, and tangled her legs as the final attack, and nailed her in place by piercing the nail dagger into the ground. Magical energy courses through Saber's body. Saber takes on lightning and easily destroys the chain. But it's too late. The small opening lasts a mere 2 seconds, but that's more than Ryder needs. Hog! 50 meters. Seeing the sudden gap between them, Saber instantly realizes Ryder's intention. Then there's only one way to oppose it. A strongest attack for a strongest attack. So this is kind of like what happened last time, except without her being tangled up by the chain. They both unleashed their noble phantasm. Except in the last one, I used my projection to kind of help out. Black light blows out. A scorching wind bursts forth from Saber's sword. A comet will attack her in the next second. The strongest noble phantasm is employed to wipe out the pure white light from Ryder. Saber! Ryder lowers her stance. The summoning circle is already completed. A giant eye bound by blood materializes in front of her. Kuruka. Ryder! The sword readied beside her. Converging and spinning, the light of the star reaches the critical point. The black sun stands ready, the flare held in both hands. Its true name is cast. Ryder's figure is instantly covered in white. This is kind of going the same as before, except maybe Ryder has a little bit of an advantage because she got that opening. The true name is revealed. Saber's sword transforms into a blazing black flame. They're still releasing it at the same time. Or at least it seems to be that way. The two lights in the cavern contend for supremacy. At that instant, I stop time. I accelerate all my processes, disguising this instant as eternity. Search, select, analyze, project. That's my role. The second projection. Magic that shades my existence away. Okay, this is going pretty similarly, but we can't beat Saber without it. We can't match Saber's noble phantasm, even with Bellerophon. So the thing is, in the last, like in the normal end, I died because I basically used up all of my energy, my magical energy, to destroy the creature Avenger. So I'm assuming things are going to go differently this time because we have to survive for the true end. We must. We knew that already, so I'm going to make her win. If Ryder's noble phantasm is inferior in force, I'll make up for the difference. I'm really curious about how it's going to go differently this time.
I am the bone of my sword.
I already know what I have to use. The projection's completed in an instant. The greatest protection Archer knows. The noble phantasm that will lead Ryder to victory.
Lo Hayas!
I make it into reality using its true name. Shudder runs through my outstretched arm. Nerves, muscles, and blood dance around like mad. I frantically hold my convulsing left arm with my right. Bear it. I can't stop the projection. The lights are still competing. If Ryder loses eyes now, she'll be vaporized in an instant. My left arm jumps about while my shoulder fires bullets into my body. The magical energy I can't control explodes inside my body, and just like an eraser, turns Emiyashiro's body white. I roar out. I scream to ward off the pain and the fear of losing myself. Their magical energy is smashed. It completely destroys the balance between the two. Scattering the fourth petal, the black ultimate light penetrated through. It fills the cavern with bright white light. I wonder if we can save Saber in this one. Maybe she has to die no matter what. The two servants are blown away. Ryder smashes against the wall at the exact speed at which he charged, because this is going like pretty similarly to last time, so I feel like we will have to kill Saber either way. Saber is hurled backwards by Belferone and falls to the ground on her back. They're both alive. Ryder must have used up her magical energy. She's still on the ground. But Saber, she's deeply wounded, but she still has some power left. We barely had the edge in the confrontation of the noble phantasms. Belferone had 90% of its light offset by Saber's holy sword. I run. I run without understanding what I have to do. I release the Azoth sword while I run.
Saber.
I run to her. I run to her and straddle her defenseless body. Yeah, this is... okay, yeah, we're gonna have to kill her. Did she hit her head? Saber's looking up at me absent-mindedly. How must I look to her? I'm on top of her, looking down with a dagger upraised. Saber's natural healing power is extraordinary. She'll regenerate unless I finish her off right now. Finish her here. We'll be killed unless I kill Saber, who's wounded and unable to fight back. My fragmented mind is strangely clear right now. She must be conscious again. Saber staring at me with cold eyes. Yep, bring the arm down. I guess we can't save her. There's no hesitation. Holding her gaze, I bring down my heavy arm. It's crazy that I had deep down I was really hoping maybe we could save her, but like she's too far gone. There's no resistance. I end Saber's life with one blow. Hopefully it won't be too similar to the normal end, and with just a little bit of a change right at the end, because it's pretty much the exact same right now. There were memories. There was the warmth of life. Her warmth was always by my side. I kill her along with those memories. I search through my mind and throw them away to where I can't find them again. They'll never return. I'll never recall her now. Such a thing will never be forgiven. I chose this path. I killed someone else to save Sakura. Using my own hands, I killed someone who protected me until the very end. Neither regret nor confession will bring forgiveness. This is what it means to ally with someone. I'll keep sacrificing important things for the one I love. And on this path, there's nothing brilliant enough to make up for what I've lost.
Saber.
I'll search all my life for happiness that can measure up to what I've lost. I'll keep losing more than I gain, and I know I'll stop someday. But I'm going to take responsibility for stealing things away, even if I'm pathetic, comical, or meaningless. I don't know where I can find happiness, but I swear to myself I'll never give up, even if I can't see the end.
ありがとう。お前に何度も助けられた。
The weight on my dagger disappears. Silent to the end, the dark swordsman sinks into the black shadow, her eyes fixed on me. My consciousness is breaking apart. A mere 100 meters becomes an impossibly vast expanse. It's only a matter of time before the cavern collapses. The ceiling's crumbling in places and the ground is strewn with rubble. My joints are stiff. It hurts to bend my limbs. If I let my guard down, I stop breathing. Finally, with the determination it would take to stick a knife in my throat, I manage to draw a few breaths. I keep doing it in spite of the pain because people can't live without oxygen. I might be able to move without oxygen, and even if I am to breathe, I would stop moving soon. It's hot. Hundreds of blades are growing out of my body, an inescapable death by skewering. I am the bone of my sword, but I already knew that. Blank said the time bomb was activated when I used projection, so this end was already determined. My legs are heavy. I don't know what I'm doing. My heart is about to explode from pain, fatigue, and emptiness, but just a bit more. Everything will end once I beat him. There's no one in my way. There's no one getting in my way anymore. But... The shadow wavers. In front of the crater, the Great Holy Grail. Bathed in the ruddy glow, Blank is standing. Okay, yep, this is different. Good, I was wondering, I was afraid I had done something wrong here. Oh shit! What? Okay, did not see this coming. Look at him. Looks very different without the priest garb, doesn't he?
Ah, お互いかろうじて生き延びているようだな、エミヤシロ。
A voice filled with strong will. As if it's fate, the man blocks my way through this desolate realm.
何のつもりだ。今さらお前の出る幕なんかない。
I don't ask him how he's alive. The power of, you know, just the game deciding that we need to fight Kirei at the end, no matter what. He's dying. I don't feel magical energy from his body. There's a black stain where his heart should be. Is he really that thing about, like, we need to let this thing give birth? Like me, a brief fire that's like a turned hourglass. I don't hear his heartbeat. He doesn't have much longer to live. This is not speculation, but a predication. Kotomine Kirei will die in a few minutes, even if he doesn't do anything.
何をするなどと分かりきったことを聞く。私の目的はただ一つ。この呪いを誕生させることのみだ。
何を。お前にそんなことはできない。そいつはお前のものになんてならない。
当然だ。私はこれに干渉することはできんし、これに干渉する気もない。だが言ったはずだぞ。私は誕生するものを祝福すると。これは今まさに生まれようとしている。ならば、その誕生を阻む外敵から守ってやるのは当然ではないかな。
This guy is so pro-life that he's literally willing to have, like, basically the Antichrist, like, the devil be born.
正気か、琴峰。そんな今にも死にそうな体で何を言ってやがる。
それはお前も同じだろう。正気などとうにない。目的は果たしたところで我々の末路は同じだ。お前はこれを滅ぼし、私はこれを守る。
I guess this is kind of similar to, like, Kirei's fight at the end, you know, in Fate Zero, where Kirei was trying to destroy the Holy Grail and Kirei was trying to protect it.
だが、どちらが目的を果たそうと、結果を得る者はいない。それを承知でお前はここまで来た。
It's always, it seems to be the case. It's like Kirei always has to, it's like with Kirei and then with his adopted son, it's like one's trying to destroy the Holy Grail and one is trying to protect it.
無意味な争いだ。そんなものをする時点で、私もお前も正気ではないだろう。
Kotomine will not back down. He won't retreat, and I can't use projection as long as he's there. Well, there we go. That's a blessing in disguise, because if I don't use projection, I don't die. I need time to project. He'll smash my head if I show such an opening.
なんでだよ。なんでそこまでそいつを守る。 そいつが出てきたところであんたに帰るものなんてないんだろう。なのにどうして。
Even on the verge of death, why does he approve of mankind's enemy, all evils of this world?
なぜも何もない。私にとってはこれが唯一の娯楽だからだ。エミやシロ、お前が他人の幸福に至福を感じるように、私は他人の不幸に至福を感じるだけだ。そもそもなぜ殺す？生まれる前から悪と決めつけるのは傲慢ではないか。帰りたがっている命ならば孵化させてやるのが愛ではないのか。
何が愛だ。へりくつ言うな。あれはもう多くの人間を殺してきた。
I wonder if he's gonna be flippant on me and be like, oh, but you want to save Sakura, and Sakura's killed a lot of people. Isn't that a little bit hypocritical?
ほう。では聞こう。お前
Oh,
の
is
言
he
う
gonna
善
throw
悪
that
とは
back at me
何だ。
about how, like, yeah, Sakura's
人を
killed?
殺すことが絶対の悪だとお前はそう言うのか。
それ、
Good and evil mean nothing to me now. The justice Emiyashiro believed in disappeared the instant I decided to save Sakura.
それでいい。元より答えなどない。人間とはそういうものだ。明確な答えなどなく、変動する真実を良しとする。人間は善悪を同時に兼ね備え、その属性を分けるのはあくまで自身の選択による。始まりはゼロであり、生まれ出ることに罪はないとお前には教えたはずだが。
ああ、たとえそれが悪であろうと赤ん坊に罪はないと。
そうだ。人間は生まれ、学習によって善か悪か、そのどちらかに偏るものだ。とある聖典にはこうある。人間は天使より優れた存在だと。何故か。それは悪を知りながらも悪に走らぬ者がいるからだと。生まれながら善しか知らぬ天使とは違う。人間とは悪を持ちながら善と生きられる存在ゆえに、善しか知らぬ天使より優れたものだと。しかり吐き気を催すような悪人が戯れに見せる善意がある。多くの人間を救った聖人が気まぐれに犯す悪意がある。この矛盾、両立する善意と悪意こそが人を人たらしめる聖杯だ。生きるということが罪であり、生きているからこその罰がある。聖あってこその善であり、聖あってこその悪だ。
In a way, it's kind of hard to argue with him on that. It's like he's right about how humans are complex. Maybe in the case of the Avenger, though, we can make an exception. I think we know that this is basically the birth of him is pretty much going to bring about the destruction of many people, but like Kirei said, he doesn't care. He likes when people are suffering.
故に生まれいでぬ者に罪過は問えぬ。何者にも望まれぬもの、生まれながらに悪であるものなどない。あれは誕生するその瞬間まで罰を受けるいわれはない。
That is Kotomina's answer. That man pardons all evils of this world for this reason alone.
だからって許すのか。こいつは初めから殺すためだけのものだ。外に出ることで多くの人間が死ぬと分かっているのなら、それは俺たちにとって紛れもない悪だろう。
そうだ。これは存在自体が悪だ。何しろその
I
よ
kind of
う
want
に
to see
作ら
what
れ
this
た。
Avenger looks like.
初
I
め
can
から
see
悪で
there's
あるようにと生まれ
a
た
lot
の
of eyes. I bet he would be real badass looking.
人間とは違う。これは悪しか持たぬ人々が作り上げた純粋な単一心だ。だがその行為が悪だとしても、あれ本人がそれをどう思うかはまだわかるまい。
What Angra Manyu thinks about his own actions.
そうだ。この世すべての悪本人が自らの行動を 足と嘆くか、よしと笑うか、それは我々の測るところではない。もしあれに人に近い意志があり、自らの存在を嘆くのであれば、それは悪だろう。だが、自らの存在に何の疑問も持たなければあれは善だ。何しろ、そのように望まれたもの、自らの機能に疑いを持たぬのであれば、それが悪であるはずがない。そう。生まれながらにして持ち得ぬもの、初めからこの世に望まれなかったもの、それが誕生する意味、価値のないものが存在する価値を、あれは見せてくれるだろう。何もかもなくし、何もかも壊した後、私はそれが知りたい。外界との隔たりを持った者がありのままに生き続けることに罪過があるのかどうか。そのためにお前の父を殺し、そのために的尾さくらを生かした。私では答えは
Wait,
出せ
that's why I killed your father.
ない。故に答えを出せる者の誕生を願った。
Wait, hold on. We're just gonna let that slip by? I killed your father? I mean, he died like in old. He seemed to have died of like a sickness. Are we saying that Kirei like made him sick? It didn't. Wasn't really implied exactly what Kiritsugu died of. It just seemed like he just maybe, although he wasn't that old, he just kind of passed away.
それが私の目的だ。エミやシロ、自身に帰る望みを持たぬお前と対極に位置する同質の願望だ。
I can't comprehend him. His wish is too alien for me. So there's only one thing I understand. That's the only reason he...
さくらを、そんなことのためにさくらを利用したのか。
I shake off the vagueness, glaring at the priest with all the hostility I can muster. He didn't... No mention about the whole thing like I killed your father? Maybe that's more of like a more... It's not like a... What's the word I'm thinking of? It's not as literal. Maybe it's more of kind of a vague thing, saying like, I killed your father? And...
そうだな。そんなことのために私は多くの者を殺してきた。故に今さら降りることなどできん。言っただろう。私はそのように生きてきた。その疑問を解くためだけにここにあった。それは死を前にして変わるものでもない。
He makes this declaration, holding my gaze. His words are bold. He states it as a matter of course, saying he has no regret or doubts.
So.
That makes me realize we're in oh my gosh, irreconcilable. Wow. Irreconcilable. I opposed him ever since I first saw him. I finally realized why. I don't want to admit it, but it seems I like Kotomine Kirei. I was frantic to see him as an enemy because I didn't want to accept the fact. He said we're similar. I understand now. We both believed ourselves to be sinners, and we both lived in a certain way to free ourselves of those chains. We both knew we could never be freed, but believed it was the right atonement, and sought salvation that would never be given to us. It's once again, it's the parallels with like Kiritsugu and Kirei. They were kind of enemies, but at the same time, they realized that they were more alike than they would like to admit.
引かないよな、そりゃ。
There's no way he'll withdraw if he's the same as me, and they're both stubborn shit. They're stubborn as shit. It's not that he's trying to grant his wish because he's about to die. That's right, it's not that he's protecting his oath in his last moments. That's how he lived until now. He never walked a different path. So even if he's to die in the next minute, he doesn't know any other way to live.
それにな、告白すれば干渉でもある。以前からよもやとは思っていたが、ことここに至ってようやく気がついた。
He steps forward. There's not much time left for either of us, so we have to settle the match quickly. We have to extinguish the other's fire before our own blows out.
私はお前たちを羨んでいる。求めても得られなかったもの、手に入れたというのに手に入らなかったもの、どのような戒律をもってしても指の隙間からこぼれ落ちた無数の檻。お前たちが幸福と感じるものが、そのうっせきをここで帳消しにするのみだ。私には幸福と感じられなかった。
Yeah, he's empty because he couldn't obtain it, no matter what he tried. He sought and sought, but couldn't obtain happiness. And the only way of life he found was carrying death. So how could he abandon his way of life now?
そうか。無駄な時間を使わせたな、琴峰。
I resume breathing. Pulling oxygen into my lungs, I get my body ready for battle.
構わん。時間がないのはお互い様だ。
Strength enters Kotomine's body. There's no way this is going to turn into a battle of magic. We're both almost dead. All we can do is drive our fist into our opponent. There's no technique or strategy involved. It's a mere brawl to the death. So this is interesting. Yeah, the other fights were like, there were servants involved. We each had our own servants to fight as well. This one is just mano a mano. He needs to kill me to make his wish come true. I need to kill him to destroy his wish. We both put our lives on the line. I need to beat him and eliminate the shadow before my life burns out. Well, now that I think about it, actually, usually in the other ones, it was like, the servants would be fighting each other, and then Kotomine and Kirei would be... Kotomine and Kirei. Kotomine and Shiro would be fighting each other, but they definitely were using more magic and things like this. This seems like more physical, just pure physical. Maybe Ryder will come in at the last second and help out. He kicks off the ground and runs straight at me. I don't have such power left in my legs. I lower my stance, eyes fixed on his incoming chest, and... At least I'm pretty much like made of metal at this point, so maybe I can use that to my advantage. I swing my fist full force at a speed he can't avoid. But my fist swings through empty space, and I'm the one who gets hit. I don't see Kotomine. At speed, the enemy that charged at me disappears from my view in an instant. Crouches down by my left side, slams his palm into my stomach, and kicks up at my body with his lightning-fast legs. Pretty good for a guy who's about to die. His kicks are like fire. It's been a while since I felt pain strong enough to make me lose consciousness. How many meters was I kicked up? The impact was strong enough to rip my head off. Now, if I'm going to talk about impact, then the second blow to my stomach was strong enough to pulverize my organs. I know this. Taking the shortest route without any initial movement, a circle and a line. It tries to damage the inside instead of outside. And he's really good at it. It's not something he copied on the spot.
そうでもない。私のこれは真似事だ。死の灯籠を真似ただけの、うちに何も宿らぬものだが、死に損ないの相手には十分のようだ。
He strikes again. Forcing my fused joints to bend, I get up. Kotomine stops and looks at his fist. His hand is covered in red. Oh yeah, because like I said, I'm pretty much like all made of swords at this point. Like my bones and stuff are steel.
厄介な体だな。撃つ方が命がけとは。
It is a price he has to pay to attack a body made of swords. Hell yeah, I am the bone of my sword. I gather my consciousness and face my enemy. It doesn't matter. Dang, he looks kind of badass with the sword sticking out of him. He looks kind of like a dragon or something. He won't stop attacking even if faced with the thorns of death.
だがいいハンデだ。つまるところ、私とお前の戦いは。
Kotomine lowers his stance. His trained body is getting ready for the explosion.
外敵との戦いではなく、 自身をかける戦いということだ。
The enemy closes in. Kotomine is far stronger than me. His fists won't break. At this rate, the hourglass itself will be destroyed before all the sand spills to the bottom. I don't look away from my enemy, closing in like a spark. There's only one thing I have to do. I have to be faster than last time. I have to punch him faster, even if he avoids it. All I can hear is the sound of my heart pounding in my ears. I take no notice of the rumbling or the raining bits of earth. The one I must defeat is right in front of me. I don't care about some centuries-old wish or the end of the small world. For Emiyashiro, defeating this enemy is the last remaining purpose. Everything is falling apart. The collapse is definitive. The search that took the Einsburn 1,000 years, the earnest desire that took the mockery 500 years. The continuous world that was never completed is about to end. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, that's Zouken. He's still alive? Amidst the chaos, it is still conscious. God, he really is like a cockroach, isn't he? I don't want to die. The body is a mere collection of dark red flesh bearing no resemblance to a human being. A swarm of worms fill the cavern. It cannot maintain its body, even when using all the worms. The writhing figure is just a moving pile of meat, but it's alive. The mask curses its rotting, melting body. I don't want to die. Its obsession is the only thing keeping it in this world. It crawls. Mockery Zouken, the old Magus, his soul's vessel destroyed, remains in this world only through sheer force of will. But it's only a matter of time before he dies. He stuffed his rotting soul into a hurriedly constructed worm, but he can't heal his wounds after being killed twice. I don't want to die. The old Magus is turned into a pile of flesh, and will die after going through immense pain. He'll rot until the very end and die in regret. With his earnest desire in front of him, what he yearned for, what he was about to obtain. Is his dying cry from pain or anguish? I don't want to die. He doesn't want to die. How could he just disappear? 500 years. The result he achieved after 500 years. The reward he deserves is right in front of him, so why does he have to disappear? I hate that. I hate that. He only recalls pain. Mockery's karma, a noble family of magi that was driven out of their homeland and declined in this far eastern country, unable to familiarize themselves with the rules of this foreign land. But that's wrong. If that were the case, salvation would be possible. If that were the reason for his bloodline's end, he may have accepted fate. I don't want to die, but that's not why. It's not that the Japanese soil didn't suit him. The Mockery didn't die out because of an external factor. They merely dropped out. It has been 300 years since the start of their search. 300 years was their limit. The family died out in Zouken's generation. Suffering started there, and the old man could do nothing but deny the truth. Mato Zouken's life was a frantic protest against the end of the Mockery bloodline. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Oh, such a drama queen. Right, dying is not possible. The crumbling body, it's painful. Nothing but pain. The 500 years were filled with pain. Pain filled the whole life. So what's so bad about seeking eternity? Suffering without satisfaction. Can't disappear without leaving anything behind. The Holy Grail is right there. Grant the wish. The answer being not wanting to die. The wish will come true on top of the cliff, but it's impossible with this body. This short distance is nothing compared to 500 years, so why is it so far away? It crawls across the floor, leaving bits of itself behind. Such tenacity. It should have no function to move, but it moves forward with tenacity. A thought that's filled only with obsession. Ignoring the impending collapse, it moves forward to the Holy Grail. But someone calls out to the hideous monster.
そこまで変貌したか。
Oh shit! What? A bell-like, beautiful voice.
何？
He looks up. Wait, who did... What? What? Ilias, when did you get here, girl? What? She looks like a queen. Within the blur stands a girl. It stops moving forward. It looks up at the girl in astonishment. The old Magus doesn't see her. A woman deep in his memory. Einspurn's golden saint who has stayed in his mind without fading. 200 years ago. Okay, so that's not... Okay, that looks just like her, I thought. I was like, wait, I thought she was back at the house. His partner sacrificed herself to create the great Holy Grail. It hasn't faded at all. The holy woman still has the eyes he adores.
とう、我が旧敵よ。汝はなぜ死にたくないと思ったのか。
And the girl lets out a familiar voice. The pure question shields his mind from the pain. Why? Now that she asks him, it is strange. Why doesn't he want to die? Why shouldn't he die? Dying means escaping the pain. So why did he cling on to life along with all the pain involved? He remembers. In the beginning, he had a supreme goal. To obtain all creation. To obtain all knowledge. To reach where no man can reach. To exceed the limits of the body and reach the infinity we call the soul. The species called humanity has set limits. To go outside the spiral of the brain. To eliminate and cure all hatred and suffering. He remembers. The grief of finding out there's no such thing as paradise. If it doesn't exist in this world, if its creation is impossible with a human body, he inspired himself to go to a place where it could be done. Not to make a new world, but to change his human life. Like, is she actually there, or is she just an illusion in his dying mind? That's right. To the sky, to the limits. Be reborn and reach the unimaginable land. The ideal utopia. It is for that reason. That's why he sought the Holy Grail. He sought a miracle beyond human reach. He can't disappear until he makes it reality. He couldn't give up, no matter how many times he was beaten. No matter how often he was shown he could not reach it. There is only one thing he dreamed of. To eliminate all evils of this world. They risked their lives for an ideal that couldn't come true. So, like, he had good intentions in the beginning to get rid of all evils, and then, he forgot, what his original goal was? That is why he remained. He kept seeking even after his enemies died, knowing it was meaningless. He believed he had a reason to exist, and that his existence would bring on a successor. That's why he continued to live. He can't die, no matter how much it hurts him. He wanted to overthrow the youthful anguish he felt when he was young. That was his way of life, the answer he came up with. Okay, so that woman was the original. So she looks just like Ilia. Is this I don't know if this is Ilia. He talked about a familiar voice. And he's seen this girl before, the woman he sacrificed or something like that. Yes, even if his life is not compensated for. Except the woman that we just saw flash before him, I wonder if that's the woman he's thinking of. And this is Ilia somehow ascending. I don't know, guys. I'm a little confused by this, I'll admit. Please stop groaning like that. It's making me uncomfortable. That was his first wish. The pain. How small is the wish of not wanting to die compared to pursuing a wish that will not come true?
そうか。
Oh,
そうであったな。
Justice?
ユスティーツァよ。
Okay, interesting. He looks up at the world. The cavern's collapsing. Mato Sakura has been released and taken out of this small world. The third sorcery that was created by mistake, Angra Manyu, is flickering like a heat haze. And the old Magus accepts that everything is out of his reach.
終わりか。我が宿願も我が苦痛もマキリの使命もこんなところで終わるのだな。
This end was determined at the start. This is all that Mockery's journey can accomplish, no matter where it ends. But in no way is it a miserable end to a life filled with pain. It's probably just a start. This journey is just starting. 500 years is nothing. How can it be reached in a mere 500 years? What they wished for is distant, dazzling, sacred, something that will come true in the distant future. A growth of the human species that will come after many years. Thousands of years. Tens of thousands of years. So, this is a trifling but meaningful matter to start the journey. It's not that their desire ends here. The journey starts here. The history to reach the distance starts its loop with an end of a dream.
だが無念よ。いや、あと一歩だったのだがな。
The voice is that of the old Magus. No matter what light he sought, he is a heretic who approved of wrongdoing. Not hiding it until the very end, he cuts his attachment to life. The last one disappears. One of the magi that sought a miracle, the observer that also started everything, rots away.
504年。思えば瞬きほどの宿願であった。
The pile of flesh is buried without trace by the crumbling rocks. The one that lived on, taking many forms. Every last trace of the Magus vanished from the world, as the embodiment of his desire is destroyed. Alright, well there we go. We got the conclusion to that of Zouken and Justice. His palm slams against me. It doesn't matter what my body's made of. The attack is meant to damage inside me, so the impact mercilessly pierces through me. I'm overwhelmed in this battle. My fists are dodged and parried, while his attacks land cleanly. Every time his fist hits me, my vision whites out. It's not because of the damage, but because of the pain brought on by my left arm, which tries to heal and overwrite my wounded body. I protect my head. My face hasn't turned into swords yet. It'll be over if I'm hit there. I can't manage to strike him, so I put everything into fending off his attacks to my head. My sense of pain is already numbed, and my vision will be cut off soon. The only pain my brain can sense is the invasion from my left arm. His bloody fists pulverize my body. My left arm frantically tries to repair me, and consequently, everything turns white. My vision and mind turn too white to be recovered. Even thinking brings pain now. As my body's destroyed, sores are created trying to keep it alive. In exchange, my brain continues to be ground away. I don't know which one of us will die first. The bones in his fist are destroyed. He bears it with an agonized expression and keeps up the assault. I dodge and swing my right fist. It's repelled. A jolt runs through my left rib. I resist the sword stabbing my brain and punch again. I can still move. I can still move. I can't move. This is my That hurt. That one hurt. I shouldn't feel any pain, but my body's about to cry out from it. Flung like a rag doll, my body hits a large piece of rubble, narrowly avoiding falling off the cliff. I can't get up. If the impact hurts this much, the pain to reinforce my body would be beyond imagination. It'll be the end. I'll burn out, unable to bear the pain. But if I go to sleep before that, if I close my eyes...
終わったか。では頭を潰すぞ。
The enemy walks to me. He can't run either. Both of us might disappear within the next minute. Then... What did you swear? Who did you swear to protect? Liv. She said she won't be saved unless both of you are alive. What did you lose? What did you lose in exchange? The enemy comes closer. He drags his legs, trying to get close enough to crush my skull. No way. I won't lose. That man has no goal. He's just following his way of life he protected. But I have one. I have a goal. I have a reason I have to beat him. A reason that I have to win. I don't know how much I made. Sakura was crying where I couldn't see her. She only smiled in front of me and always cried by herself. Yes, so I have to protect her. The crimes committed, the crimes that condemn, the crimes remembers. I have to protect her from everything. The girl that could only smile in front of me. Her body was dying, but she still said she'd protect me. So she can eventually smile in front of other people. You're getting in the way of that. Get lost. Sakura can't smile if you exist. Here we go. If he could go Super Saiyan, that's what he'd be doing right now. One blow. I punch my enemy in the face with everything I have. Two blows. 3 blows. 4 blows. 5 blows. 6 blows. 7 blows. I punch, I punch, I punch, I punch. This is it. There's nothing left if I miss this chance. I put all of my remaining life into this miraculous chance. I'm blown away. He deflected my attack and counterattacked me with a hard shot. Damn, I know. He won't let me punch him that easily. He's many times stronger than me, so he could easily fend off my attacks and come finish me off. Yeah, so what? The difference in our powers won't change. Things won't conveniently go right for me. I'm blown away, and my enemy comes to smash my head. I'll lose, I'll lose, I'll lose, I'll lose. It's a self-evident truth. But my body still moves. My enemy looms over me. My legs don't move. Yeah, my right leg really doesn't move at all, but I fire them up to raise my body. I won't die here. I can't avoid the enemy's attack with these legs. In desperation, I tried to evade the death coming in the next second, and... Oh, did he just, like, die standing up? The guy in front of me didn't make it. He's standing in front of me with an upraised fist.
ここまでか。単純に時間の差が出るとはな。
He looks down at his chest. The black oh, it's literally a simple difference in time? Like, they just basically just die on the spot before he could finish me off? The black stain is right where his heart should be. The difference in time. So, he became half dead in the forest a bit before I did.
お前の勝ちだ、エミヤシロ。その体で何秒持つかは知らんが。目的があるのなら急ぐがいい。
He's just like before. He sounds uninterested in anything, just like when I first met him at the church.
ことみね。
お前が最後のマスターだ。聖杯を前にし、その望みを果たすがいい。
The last master. The words contain deep weight, but the priest still sounds the same. It's natural. This man won't change even on the verge of his death. He continues to be my despicable enemy.
ああ、散々痛めつけてくれたお礼だ。容赦なく、あんたの願いを壊してくる。
Did he smile in his last moment? On the verge of rusting away, my eyes no longer serve their purpose. The priest disappears from the world with no one to bury him. I take a breath, drawing enough oxygen to allow me to move. My throat only moves once. Fortunately, it's not painful. Most of my senses have turned to steel. No matter how hard I try, I'm starting to feel faint. Let's go. It's my final job. release my left arm. My consciousness is about to fade away. My last projection. I'll use the strongest sword I know to destroy the curse along with the great holy grail. It'll be the definite end. No, I can't go back if I use it. Oh, it looked like there was going to be a choice for a second. It like flashed, but then it was just like, nope. I know I'm going to disappear anyway, but I have to try to find some other way as long as I'm alive. I promised that I'd protect Sakura from everything. I can't selfishly die. I want to live with Sakura. So... But there's no other way. Sakura's crime, the absolute requirement for Sakura's happiness, is the destruction of this curse. Only a single grain of my consciousness is left. Sakura, I...
投影開始
The promise I made with you. His sword is in my hand. His body last.
シロは死なないよ。だってこの門を閉じるの
Oh
は
shit,
私
okay.
だから。
It's the voice of someone I can't remember. I can't remember, but I call her name. I know I have to do it, because we'll never return if I don't.
ね
Oh, so that was her. Huh?
え、
Okay.
シロは生きたい？どんな命になっても、どんな形になっても、シロはまだ生きていたい？
I mean, didn't Ilya say before about how, like, only one of them will be able to live? So maybe Ilya's going to sacrifice herself so that Shiro can live? I want to live. Name? I have to call her name and stop her. But I want to live. I know we'll disappear if I nod, but I want to live from the bottom of my heart.
よかった。私もそうしたかった。
Oh, no.
私よりシロにこれからを生きてほしかったから。
What are you saying, idiot? Just come back. You won't be able to return if you go any further. I'll take him, so... Damn, I have to remember her name, but my head's turned stupid, and the important name is...
じゃあ、奇跡を見せてあげる。前に見せた遠見の応用だけど、今度のはすごいんだよ。なんて言ったって、みんなが見たがってた魔法なんだから。
No, I don't need to see it. Just come back.
けど、器だけは安物かな。使えるのは私の体しかないから、完全に再現はできないの。けど大丈夫。リンと一緒に試行錯誤すれば、すぐに元通りにしてもらえるわ。
He goes to the center. The person in white becomes the sacrifice, just like in the first ritual to close the Great Holy Grail.
じゃあね。私とシローは血がつながっていないけど、シローと兄弟で本当によかった。
Yeah, if that's how you feel, then don't go. I can't sacrifice you. I said we'd live together to make up for all the time you've lived alone. But if one of us has to be sacrificed, then...
言ったよね。兄貴は妹を守るもんなんだって。ええ、私はお姉ちゃんだもん。なら、弟を守らなくっちゃ。
I remember her name. Kiritsugu's real blood relative, the girl who's left alone because I came and stole him. A girl with silver hair and red eyes that's a bit older than me. I can't reach her. I don't hear voices anymore. I can't see anything in this light. And at the last moment... Aww. It's just crazy to me that she's actually older than Shiro. She smiles goodbye and shuts the gate of the great Holy Grail. Well, they did say that Ilya would get more of a presence in this route, so I'm glad she kind of had her hero moment. The sage cries out, "Open gates of heaven, bless us and bestow miracles upon us." The curtain closes, the millennium comes to a standstill, our dreams, hopes were a forbidden failure from the start. The stars fall out of the sky, space closes into nothingness. God damn, why does it go so fast? All has been engulfed by darkness, nothing can hurt you now. You may rest without a worry on your mind. I can see the sky. I can go into the sky if I reach out just a bit. But there's nothing left. There's absolutely no energy left in my body. I'm sinking. The life she saved is sinking. I clench my fist out of vexation. I feel something cold in my hand. The sensation rouses my mind.
大丈夫。リンが助けてくれるから。
Yeah, there's a miracle in my hand. A little magical energy. A small, useless pendant, but it can at least help me reach out with my hands. I reach out. The gentle atmosphere and the warm sun hits my skin. In my hand is the endless blue sky. Oh, epilogue. Okay. There we go. We got our true end.
はあ、疲れた。
Thump. I drop the bag filled with souvenirs on the ground and stretch. The sky is clear and sunny, and the spring sunlight feels great. It's too bright after the darkened interior of the plane, but this is nothing since I'm finally free of the long journey.
あ、ベールでなくなってる。代わりに映画館なんてできたんだ。
Rin's been gone for a
しばら
while.
く見ないうちに変わったな。
Wonder if she's gonna go visit Shiro and Sakura living happily at the house together. And it's springtime, so maybe all three of them are gonna go together to go see the cherry blossoms. I stretch myself out and look around the town. It took 25 hours to travel from London to the suburban Japanese town. My body is cramped from being stuffed in a small seat. My butt hurts from all the sitting, and I hit my head on the ceiling during the
エ
landing.
コノミーどころの話じゃないわよね。せめてまっとうな旅行会社を使えばよかった。
Moral of the story, don't skimp on travel expenses when taking long trips. Even if I'm dirt poor, and Luva Gelita says...
あらミスト大阪、お金に困っているのなら私好きのメイドにしてあげてもよろしくてよ。4番街のしみったれた悪趣味カフェのウェイトレス1年分の月給は保証しますわ。ああ、そう言っておきますけど割と本気ですから、明日朝一で編入届を出してきなさいね。
I can't be stingy when I'm coming back to my home country. Yeah, I'll be smart next time. I have the return ticket, so I'll have to deal with that worn-out plane on the way back.
バスは20分待ちか。まあ、面倒だし歩いていこう。
I lift up the bag and start to walk. It's about an hour on foot. It takes a while, but it's good since there's still time until we're supposed to meet.
懐かしいな。海沿いの風だ。
I squint against the wind as I roll my travel bag. I'm back. The hometown seemed to have changed in the year I've been away, but it hasn't actually changed at all. I walk on, delighted by every trifling detail. It's my yearly homecoming, my first time back in the country since I went overseas to London. It's pleasant to walk through the town for the first time in a year. Well, the happiness doesn't change the fact that the bag is mercilessly heavy.
よし。まあ、こんなんで OK かな。
I take a shower and check my appearance in the mirror. It's not that I'm self-conscious, but it won't do any harm to get fired up since this is the first time I'm seeing them in a year. Oh, there's one person that might glare at me, but I'll ignore her just for today. Yeah, the house is cleaner than I thought, and there isn't much accumulated dust. Sakura might be cleaning the place from time to time. I'm thankful, I really am, but...
あの子、変なことにここを使ってないわよね。なんか記憶にないシャンプーがあったんだけど。
Shampoo goes in the bath. You don't put shampoo in the study, kitchen, entrance, or the yard. No, it's nothing to worry about, but it's pretty suggestive.
もう3時じゃない。ああ、もう2時間も何してたんだ私。
I dash to the door, try to put on some pumps to show off, give up, and change it back into my boots, and dash out again. I'm supposed to be there at 4. I want to get there early and inspect my enemy, but my strength will go down if my hair gets messed up. It's regrettable, but I should face them straight on. Yep, there's the cherry blossom.
さて。
It's an emotional moment, but I just want to forget about everything and run in now that I'm here. I go through the gate and up to the door. Well, let's ring the doorbell. After the ding-dong, the door opens. Oh. What? Ryder? What? Look at her, she looks so cool. How did she stay on the... How is she still here? I'm surprised. Ryder came to the door and she's wearing normal clothes.
ただいま。ちょっと早いけど帰ってきたわ。
That was unexpected.
さくらはいる？ライダ。
I mean, I guess we did have the one ending where Saber managed to stay. So I guess that's not that out there.
ええ。さくらは部屋で、タイガは居間で待っています。
藤村先生もいるんだ。で、春休みだから当然か。じゃあ、お邪魔します。とりあえず居間に行けばいい？
はい。私はさくらを呼んできます。
I walk into the hallway. I glance at Ryder when we head to the living room. Could she be considered an ambush? She was beautiful before, but it stands out much more in her normal clothes. To be blunt, she's really gorgeous. When a woman calls another woman gorgeous, you know it's true. I've seen many beautiful women over there, but I haven't seen anyone as beautiful as Ryder. Well, she's superior to humans, so it's natural that she's extraordinary. She's a servant after all. The Magi in the spirit dispelling department would be unable to work for 3 days if they saw her. I bet they'd lock themselves up in their workshop for a month if they found out she's a familiar.
リン、私に話があるのですか？
そうね。あれから調子はどう？少しは今の状態に慣れた？
そうですね。2年前に比べれば安定しています。
Oh, 2 years. Okay.
リンがいなくなってからは不安定でしたが、1月ほど前から安定しました。さくらもコツをつかんだようです。
And again, I guess it makes sense for Rin. She'd want to like get to, hang out with Sakura before she just takes off to London. Because there's been so long since the two of them have been able to be sisters, right?
そう。まあ、ライダーとさくらは相性がいいから心配はしてなかったけど、さくらに黙って血なんて取ってないでしょうね。
It's not that I'm blaming her, but if she is, I'm worried about whether she could follow through.
それこそ心配無用です。さくらに知られるような真似は決して。
It's a vague answer, but I guess I'll let it slide since she doesn't seem to be troubling anyone. It's a bad habit of mine as a magus. Familiars, as strong as Ryder, are so valuable that I tend to overlook some mischief.
それではまた。リンには相談事もありますので、夜に時間を作っていただけますか？
内緒話ならここじゃなくてうちでしましょう。今夜はこっちに泊まるから明日の夜でいい？
Ryder nods and heads to Sakura's room. Oh.
お帰りなさい、リン。
ありがとう。留守中苦労かけたわね、ライダー。
Oh, she's so cute when she smiles. She smiles and leaves. Jeez, I'm speechless. She's a real beauty.
あら、いらっしゃい、遠坂さん。元気そうで何よりね。
はい、お邪魔します。藤村先生もお変わりないようで安心しました。
ああ、今日は遠坂さんが来るって聞いてたからずる休み。ま、今年の首相はしっかりしてるし、今日は新入生対策の会議だから問題ないわ。
新入生対策？部員減ったんですか？弓道部。
増えたよ。ほら、去年はさくらちゃんが首相になってたでしょ。それで男の子は増えたんだけど、女の子が定員に届いてないのよ。で、遠坂さんは卒業したから知らないか。ま、 今年はかっこいい男の子が首相だから、うまく立ち回ればどっさり入ってくるだろうけどね。
はあ、かっこいい男の子って誰です？
三辻さんの弟さん。これがまあ姉さんとは正反対の小心者なのよ。部活紹介でステージになんて立ったら金縛りに合うわね、絶対。
I think she's choosing the wrong person for the job. Well, archery has this strict image, so it might be good to appeal to the girls by showing how easy it is. But Ayako's brother, huh? Never heard she had one.
それであっちの暮らしはどうなの？日本人だからっていじめられてない？ほら、美大の子ってライバル心だけで友人関係成立してるじゃない？
藤村先生、それは偏見です。芸術を信奉する人間にそのような供給差はありません。
怒られちゃった。
I can't tell her all they care about is themselves. Making things worse, Fujimura Sensei's concerns are 100% correct at the department I'm in, but I'm going to keep quiet. Wait, Fujimura Sensei's looking at me and smiling.
なんでしょう、藤村先生。
遠坂さん綺麗になったなって。一皮むけたっていうか、大人になったっていうか。向こうでいい人でもできた？
Why does the conversation end up here when girls are talking? And she's sharp too.
なんか手応えあり。どうなのよ。花のロンドンでしょ。こうパーッと出会った瞬間に謎の組織に追われて手をつないで大脱走。残り10分あたりでロンドン橋が炎上してキスしてお別れとかしちゃってたら承知しないぞ。
いえ、別にそういうことはないです。
じゃあいい話は一切なし？
そういうわけではないんですが、まあできそうというかできないというか。
I can't help but give a vague answer. I've had no shortage of proposals, and I'd at least like to have a research partner. But I somehow can't get serious. Every time I go out with a guy, I can't concentrate because another idiot keeps popping up in my head. Oh, is this why she said, like, competition? Does she still have, like, she's got some feelings for Shiro, but her sister ended up with him? It's unbelievable, but I think every day that it might mean I'm in love with him. No, it can't be true.
あ、さくらちゃん。
I straighten up at once. Oh, she looks so pretty. Sakura's confused by my reaction. Wow, she hasn't changed a bit.
はい、元気だった？さ
She
くら。
says she hasn't changed a bit. I'm like, she looks more mature too. I don't know. She does look different. Sakura nods, and her happiness is written on her face, plain as day.
おかえりなさい、姉さん。元気そうで嬉しいです。
She congratulates my return with the biggest smile I've seen. An hour passes. We talk about what's happened during the year since I went
そっ
overseas.
か、さくらもう卒業したんだね。それで進路はどうするの？うちに来るなら私から紹介状でっち上げるけど。そうですね。嬉しいけど遠慮しておきます。今はこっちでやることがあるし、勉強なら見てくれる人がいますから。手紙にあった綺麗な後釜か。まあ人のいいじいさんみたいだし。
Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the normal ending that she's working with like his successor.
たまには外に出て冒険してみないとダメになるわよ。ただでさえあんたは怠け性なんだから、教師は生きのいいのじゃないと。それなら大丈夫です。代打、すごく厳しいから、ちょっと怠けるとですね、すっごく怖い顔するんです。ああ、いや、そりゃ怖いでしょう、彼女。
She has mystic eyes of petrification after all. I bet your clothes would be turned to stone if she gets mad at you. Oh, why doesn't Fujimura-sensei look well?
藤村先生？
何？ごめんなさい、聞いてなかった。
いえ、そういうのではないのですが、急に黙り込んでしまったから気になって。
あ、うん。さくらちゃんと遠坂さんを見てるとシローのこと思い出しちゃ
Oh
った。
wait,
今いればすごくラッキーなのに、あの子ったら肝心なところで損してるんだから。
oh no, what happened?
ああ、
Okay.
帰り遅いよね、シロ。
I knew he survived, but
い
I'm
つに
like,
なった
where
ら
is
帰っ
he?
てくるのかな。
Fujimura-sensei looks out the window with a cup in her hand. She's looking off into the distance. She's looking up at the clear blue sky.
あ、あれ、なんか変な雰囲気になっちゃったわね。私のせいかなとか。
そんなことないですよ。藤村先生が先輩の話をしてくれるのは嬉しいです。
ダメよ、さくらちゃん。さくらちゃんにとってシュローはもう先輩でも何でもないんだから。まあそれはともかく、急に体を動かしたくなったから道場で素振りでもしてくるわ。
Maybe Fujimura-sensei's being considerate. Well, I'm glad she's thinking about us, but I don't know how to start the conversation now.
まあいいか。こっちまで気を使うことないものね。聞いておくべきことは聞いておかないと。で、さくら、あんたの方はどうなのよ。あれから2年、なんとかやっていけそう？
はい、少しずつですけど、いろいろなことを素直に受け止められるようになりました。罪の意識で潰されるのは逃げなんだって。私は私のできることをして少しずつ頑張っていこうと思います。
そっか。ちょっと見てきたけど、街も完全に元通りだものね。2年前の傷跡は消えていて、おかしな事件ももう起こらない。私の役目をさくらに押し付けて教会に行っちゃったけど、それはそれでよかったってことか。
はい、姉さんの代わりは大変でした。おかげでこの1年間ずっと強くなれた気がします。
She must mean mentally. Well, it just means people are better off moving around than sitting there and worrying.
けどそういう姉さんはどうなんですか？なんかいろいろゴタゴタしてたって聞いてますけど。
私？ごたごたしてたって言えばしてたけど。
Where should I start? I'll have to start 2 years ago. Holy Grail War. It's been 2 years since the war Sakura and I were involved in. The Great Holy Grail was destroyed, and the foundation of the Holy Grail War along with it. The search for the Holy Grail in this land has been permanently stopped, and the city of Fuyuki has regained its peace. But it didn't end for me there. The whole event on the land I supervise. The land of Fuyuki belongs to my family, but the Magic Association approved it, so it's not completely ours. The Magic Association demands all divine mysteries be hidden, and we broke that rule to pieces. First, the enormous damage the Holy Grail War caused to society. Next, the assassination of the Master dispatched by the Magic Association. Finally, the activation of the Swirl of Origin the Association measured. Well, the first two are Kirei's responsibility, and he's the supervisor they sent, so I had my excuse. But I can't duck responsibility for the third one. The appearance of the gate from the Holy Grail, a ritual leading to the origin, needs to be conducted under the supervision of the Magic Association. And by their rules, I'm a criminal. They detected its activation in the far eastern land. They were surprised and happy, but it suddenly disappeared. They were mad that we opened the gate, but I hear they really wanted to kill me since we closed it even though we succeeded. Even though I was busy dealing with the aftermath, I was taken to London's clock tower. And that's how the one-man count started, in a meeting room that could hold 300 people. There were heads of every department, along with magi who wanted the Tosaka family's rights once I'd been sentenced. It was more of a circus than a trial.
私もここまでか。こうなったら、教会と反目している中東圏に逃げ込むか、日本で徹底抗戦だ。
I was determined and was even making my escape plans, but there were people that wanted to save me while there were people who wanted to kill me. In the face of everyone's condemnation...
いや、弟子の不始末は私の責任でもある。
The old man who slightly outranked all who were present appeared and nullified all the charges against me. It's not that he took the blame in my place. It's give and take, out of everything he could have done.
よかろう。では弟子を取ることにする。享受するのは3人までだ。各部門協議の末、見込みのあるものを選出せよ。
He dropped a bombshell. I mean, a long-missing sorcerer appeared and said he'd take apprentices on top of it. The whole place became a riot. Completely forgetting about me, everyone ran to their departments, panicking over who should be selected. And he came to me, who was standing there
トンビが
dumbfounded.
鷹を生んだというのはお前の国の言葉だったな。遠坂は最も目のない教え子だったが、わずか6代でたどり着くとは。
And he said something ridiculous like that.
何のことでしょう、大師父。
I played dumb, because I thought he'd kill me if he found out what went on. Sorcerers don't tell others about their sorcery. My instincts told me he'd kill anyone who followed in his footsteps without mercy. But my enemy is no ordinary person. He pats my head and praises me.
連中を利用してやれ。ここは窮屈な場所だが、道具だけは揃っておる。
As expected from the Great Master, the old man who traveled across many parallel worlds was a wholehearted guy. Yes, the truth is I can recreate the gem sword. I comprehended the blueprint and the theory during the fight, so I can copy the sorcery if I have the needed material and time. Well, I need a lot of money for it, so it's nothing I can accomplish in tens of years. Anyway, I got to walk away free. In addition, I got a free pass to the clock tower. So, I named Sakura the supervisor of Fuyuki and left for London. It's been a year since then. Life at the tower knocked me around a bit, but, like Sakura, I'm slowly expanding my territory.
そうですか。それで姉さん、エミヤの家、先輩の
問題になってないわ。報告にはあげてないし、キレイも巻き込まれて死亡した一般人としか記録してなかった。幸か不幸か、あいつのことを知っているのは私とあなただけってこと。
The air tenses up. After the incident, Sakura and I were carried to the surface and managed to survive. Ryder took me to my house and replenished my magical energy. My magic crest would keep me alive even by force if I still have magical energy. I wasn't able to eat for a while, but I healed quickly. Sakura suffered after effects from her connection to Angra Mainyu, and from the fact he was gone. She didn't panic, nor did she get depressed. She pretended to be alright so he could come back at any time. If she'd freak out instead of acting like that, I could have done something. But that's all in the past. Time passes and the days slowly change. Sakura graduated, and she's saying she'll stay in this town for a bit longer. I'm going to spend my whole vacation here, and I have to fly back to London in a week. Why did I come back to this place? A year ago. No, a lot of things happened 2 years ago. My memory stops a year ago, but I was a frequent guest here until I graduated. Is that why? It feels like if I turn towards the kitchen, I'll see him there, cooking with a knife in hand. An amateur magus who was involved in the Holy Grail War. He actually won, and...
ただいま。いや、悪い悪い。一世から檀家のお供え物を分けてもらってたら遅くなっちまった。
He's still alive and well now. Shiro comes into the living room, arms laden with groceries, and... Of course our eyes meet.
いや、相変わらず元気そうだな。
Crap, I'm about to burst out laughing. It's totally obvious he took a deep breath in the hallway and tried to act as normally as he can.
久しぶりね。相変わらず抜けてるみたいじゃない、そっちは。
Wait, why am I panicking too? And Sakura's laughing at us for that.
先輩、無理して強がってると余計姉さんに笑われますよ。まあ、姉さんも同じように意地を張ってるからおあいこですけど。
Sakura says something scary.
別に無理なんてしてない。遠坂は家族なんだから、うちにいるのは当たり前だろ。何も特別なことなんてない。
But he's loaded down with groceries. Jeez, what are you going to do with that? We can't eat that much, you idiot.
そうね。緊張して損しちゃった。こいつなんにも変わってないし。はい。
先輩はなんにも変わってません。
Oh, he's got that familiar look where he wants to say something but can't.
言ってろ。それより遠坂、今晩は飯食っていくんだろ？
ええ、泊まる気満々だけど。
そっか。じゃあ休んでろ。長旅で疲れただろ。晩飯はこっちで片付けるから、さくらとお茶飲んで待ってろよ。 積もる話もあるだろうしな。
He goes into the kitchen and puts on his apron. This has been the scene here for a year. No, for half a year.
ありがとう。お言葉に甘えるわ。
そうしろそうしろ。あ、それとおかえり登坂。ちっとも心配してなかったけど、いつも通りで安心した。
ええ。ただいま、エミヤくん。そっちもいつも通りで嬉しいわ。
And the master of this house goes to make dinner for the freeloaders. Well, I'll look forward to finding out how much he got back to normal in the last year.
調子良さそうじゃない。一時はどうなることかと思ったけど、あれなら相手が誰であろうとバレないかな。学校の方は問題なし？
はい。おかげさまで一緒に卒業できました。
I see. Then there's nothing else I can do. Well, he didn't need our help in the first place, but I was able to come up with excuses for why he missed school for a year to deceive Fujimura-sensei. So, if you ask me why he's alive, I have to say, it's sorcery. Emiyashiro's body was destroyed. Between the influence of Archer's arm and the strain of projecting beyond his limits, his magic circuit was broken to pieces. It was a death that even the Holy Grail couldn't reverse. But he's still moving around like that because the Shiro over there is his copy. No, that's not right either. Anyway, Shiro's body died. That Holy Grail can't revive a dead body. The Holy Grail, Ilya can only use the divine mystery called the Third Sorcery. Ilya managed to revive Shiro's soul with that. She revived his soul and gave him a body free of wounds. You might not believe me, but this is the Third Sorcery we're talking about. It's not just putting your spirit into someone else's brain and controlling them. Once you give it a container or a body, the soul manifested by the Third Sorcery will take perfect form. It's the genes of the soul, not those of the body. Preserving Shiro's soul, Ilya revived him by inserting it into a container. But it wasn't perfect. Maybe Ilya's Third Sorcery didn't match the original. A few days after the cavern collapsed, the Shiro Rider found was just a bit different from the Shiro we knew. No, she didn't find him, she picked him up. It was more like she plucked him out. I was surprised and wondered how it could be possible, but if I think about it, the body that's cooking right now is being remotely controlled by his soul. Memories, mind, and magic circuit are actually in the soul, so the body's only a terminal to move around, and the command structure is invincible in that world. We experimented with a lot of things in the first half of the year. It's not like he'd grown if we watered him, and we weren't equipped to make a homunculus, so we ended up selling the books at the Mato household, and obtaining a body left by a famous puppet maker, leaving us where we are now. That's a whole lot of information to take in. Don't take this the wrong way. Shiro's as human as the rest of us. He can go get surgery at hospitals, drink cold medicine, and die when he's killed. Souls can be put into bodies to give them life, but the souls will be fixed to the body in exchange. In short, he's like a servant that can operate without a master. Wasn't that the whole joke too about like Rin and Ilya joking about like which one gets Shiro as a servant? The only difference is he's living in this age. He will grow old and die of old age, and he cooks like he's doing now. He's the same Emiyashiro.
でも、元が中古だしな。何人か腕のいい人形師を当たってみたんだけど、今の素体よりいい出物はなかったわ。あの素体を作ったっていう人にお願いしようともしたけど、その人、封印指定を受けて教会から逃げ出したんだって。見つけるのは骨でしょうね。
そうですか。けど、先輩は今のままで問題ないって言ってますよ。魔力の通りが悪いだけで、あとは前よりいいくらいだって。私もそう思います。
Oh, the soul will overwrite the body no matter how good the body is. So there may be places that aren't functioning properly, and I don't think it'll get any better. Why are you getting embarrassed?
さくら
そのですね。私もやりすぎかなって思うんですけど、私の体がまだ
That's right. Sakura's body still has after effects from Angra Manyu. Even with the contract broken, she's still a Holy Grail. She was connected to Angra Manyu, so she's still connected with the other side. Vast amounts of magical energy are collecting in Sakura's body, and she has to periodically let it out. It's because of that magical energy that she can keep Rider, even after the Great Holy Grail's destruction. But she still can't use it all, so she must be giving the surplus to Shiro. Shiro's current body is a very weak magic circuit, so he would return to how he was before without her help.
はあ、いろいろと込み入ってるのね、あなたたち。
はい。前途多難です。
There are lots of problems to living normally, but Sakura's constitution is a huge advantage if she's planning to live as a magus.
って考えてみればすごいパーティーじゃない、私たち。
Shiro's a successful example of the third sorcery, and he should be able to use his reality marble if he starts training. Sakura can use her abilities as the Holy Grail, although only in part. And she even has Rider, and I can manage a copy of the second sorcery. We're invincible. I wish they'd hold a magic tournament at the association. We'd easily win, so maybe they could just hand us our prize money. About 500,000 pounds, of course. And don't deduct income tax because we're Japanese. Crap, I'm beginning to feel like it. We'll be able to do whatever we want after that, full of happiness and hope. I'll use the money to reproduce the gem sword, leave that crappy place and come back to this town. Then we can...
まあ、無理か。人間地道が一番だし。
I quickly give up on the idea. I think it's too fanciful. I like my life, and I'm looking forward to the changes in the future. And it's not like we'll be apart forever. I'm sure they won't lead an ordinary life in this peaceful town, with all the potential problems they have.
姉さん、なんか今邪悪な笑みをこぼしてましたけど。
そう？勘がいいわね、さくら。
I get up from the cushion. I can't take things slow. I can only stay here for 7 days after all. I can't skip a single one of these dinners.
シロ、手伝うから今度貸して。英国仕込みの腕前、見せてあげる。
I reject his protests. I'm smiling more than I really mean to as I put on the apron that's prepared for me.
さて。
I roll up my sleeves and head to the kitchen. Oh, before that, I remember the most important thing I need to verify. It's been 2 years. I turn back to my younger sister.
さくら。
Oh wow, look at her!
幸せ？
Wow, she does look more mature. Her full smile is perfect. That made my whole trip worthwhile. She gives me some of her happiness, and I look up at the sky. Winter passed before I knew it, and it's spring. The scenery's dyed pink without a trace of the cold days. I keep walking on, weighing what we've lost and what we've gained. Well, the story in this town has ended, but our story is just beginning. The end roll will come in the distant future. It looks like it'll be another clear day tomorrow, and my vacation's just starting. Let's look forward to the new day, the new future. I can see us leisurely walking down the hill road. Well, let's go see the flowers we promised to see, right? Yes. That's what I wanted. All of them together, that's really cute. Like, all going to go see the flowers. And with Ryder, like, what an unexpected surprise. It's so cute that Ryder got to, like, stay and be part of the family as well. So the winter went by and spring came along. Nature in full bloom, and there's nothing left that reminds you of the harsh, cold days. Stash away what you lost and gained, for life continues on. The story that unraveled in this town has reached its conclusion. Now stages and people are waiting for us. Alright, that was awesome. Yeah, I really liked that ending. As a true ending should be, it feels like it's much more conclusive, and it feels more like it wrapped everything up really nicely in a nice little bow. Yeah, so that's the end. Holy cow. How long? Over a year of me playing this, and just like that, it's all done. Oh, last episode. Okay, we gotta check this out. Clang, a beautiful sound. That's light. Only that sound was something he would never forget all his life. The sound of the bell that announces the commencement of battle. Her figure that made even the rough clanging of armor sound beautiful.
To, あなたが私のマスターか?
That voice is still clear. The image wears away, but the sound is still etched clearly in his heart. So is this like, because with Saber, the fact he had to kill her in the last episode, is this a continuation? Is this a continuation of like what we just did with the Heaven's Feel? Like thinking back about his interactions with Saber before he had to kill her?
これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
Yes, the contract was complete. She chose him to become her master, and he swore to help her with all his might. The moonlight still lights up the darkness. As if following the knight's example, the shed again falls silent. Each time he remembers it, he murmurs that name to himself. Except he has memories. It's like the memories he had there was him fighting Ryder. That was the first playthrough, was it not? He's completely forgotten that blue light. The golden hair shone in the moonlight. In his final years, on the verge of a nap, suddenly he remembers that nostalgic sword. He cannot recall the correct order. His memories are distant and hazy, and all of his feelings from them are long in the past now. This is a story of the past, the story of him and her, only 15 days long, concerning a certain Grail. Yeah, this was fate, because this was the first one.
その時は私が死ぬだけでしょう。シローが傷つくことではなかった。繰り返しますが、今後あのような行動はしないように。マスターであるあなたが私をかばう必要はありませんし。
I wonder if they're going to go through each one, though. There's fate, and then Unlimited Blade Works, and then Heaven's Feel, if we're going to go through each timeline. Because at the beginning it said fate, so I don't know, is this just like a recollection of his memories with Saber?
そんな人間がいるとしたら、その人物の内面はどこか欠落しています。その欠落を抱えたまま進んでは、待っているのは悲劇だけです。あなたが戦わないというのならいい。
Oh man. I feel bad for that character.
違うわ、セイバー。シロはサーバントを侮っているわけじゃない。
He never really got a moment to
その
shine.
あ
He
た
was
りを
like
誤
the
解しちゃう
forgotten
と話が
servant.
進まないから口を挟ませてもらうけど。
Man, oh man, this was so long ago. The
だ
fate
から
one,
無茶で
holy
も
cow.
戦う。勝てないって分かっていながら勝とうとする。その結果が自分の死でも構わない。なぜならあんたの中ではどうしてか知らないけど自分より他人の方が大切だからよ。
He was a fool. He couldn't save anyone by himself. To really end the war, it was obvious from the start what needed to be done. A certain man said this. Would he not fight anyone, not kill anyone, not let anyone be killed? If he realized he was wrong, he must decide what he would make right, and whom he will punish.
Koi! Saber!
With faint consciousness, he reached out for no reason. He didn't reach out to seek help. He just thought the sky was a long way away. In his last moments, that's what he thought.
Ah. その堅くなさは実にあなたらしい。まったく今さら答えるまでもないでしょう。私はあなたの剣です。私以外の誰があなたの力になるのですか、シロ。
She and her sword were one, the sword from the stone that chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that decided her fate was her own brilliance. Her soul must still be on the battlefield before daybreak. Resting her body in the wind under the indigo blue sky, she just gazed into the distance. King is not human. One cannot protect the people with human emotions.
いいセイバー。デートってのはね、要するに合いびきのことなの。
I wonder if there's going to be anything new to this. It just seems like this is just Shiro looking back at the previous, like the different routes as like a summary of what happened.
シロは遊びに行くって言うけど、つまるところ男の子が好きな女の子にアピールするチャンスってわけ。
But there was also things like this. Fortunately, the sky was very high and the wind was very cool. Even now, these clear blue memories live inside her heart.
Oh の誓いは破れない。私には王として果たさなければならない責務がある。アーサー王の目的は聖杯の入手です。それが叶おうとも私はアルトリアに戻ることはないでしょう。私の望みは初めから一つだけ。剣を手にした時からこの誓いは永遠に変わらないのですから。シローなら分かってくれると思っていた。
That was a scene from many years ago.
それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がい
い。いいえ。
She nodded firmly even when shown her future. Are you really okay with that? The Magus asked.
"多くの人が笑っていました。それはきっと間違いではないと思います。
The girl only wanted to protect everyone, but to do so, she had to throw away the emotion of wanting to protect people, because one cannot protect a country as king if one has a human heart. She accepted it and pulled out the sword. She accepted it and swore to live as the king, so her heart would not change no matter how many times she was abandoned, feared, or betrayed. She threw away her human heart, because the young girl wanted to protect in exchange for it. Who would ever know of such a sublime oath? She chose to fight, no matter what the future may hold. Even so, she still chose to fight, even if there was inevitable, solitary ruin waiting at the end.
私は選定役だと言っただろう。ふさわしい人間がいるのならば、喜んで聖杯は譲る。そのために、まずはお前の言葉を聞きたいのだ、エミヤシロ。
It is a living hell that's somehow familiar. No matter how much they ask, he cannot assent. All he could do is end it for them. He can only fix the contradiction of the living dead. He can only make the creator of this hell atone for his sins. Damn, all the stuff I forgot about with, like, all those kids in the bottom of the church that were basically like corpses. The priest said this, the truth behind 10 years ago, that someone with malicious intent touched the Grail. The cruel reality that nobody could be saved. Sad events, miserable deaths, a disaster that had already occurred. Those things cannot be taken back. A superhero only exists to straighten out what has already happened. He can't stand their stares. He wants to run away from it all. He has no way to save them. He can only listen and has no miracle to grant them. He doesn't have enough power to deny the man's claim that a superhero is only so strong. I have no definite adversary. I have never wished anything for myself. Then, if I had a miracle that could save them, would I use it?
いらない。そんなことは望めない。
He stares straight at the dead corpses and, clenching his teeth, rejects them. Things lost will never return. His figure hurts her so much. What did she tell him? That she could not start a new life? She continued to refuse him, saying she had a duty as king. She remembers the oath she took a long time ago, something she has kept to herself. She decided to fight, even if it meant losing everything and being loathed by everyone.
私は愚かだった。
The oath of the king who still chose to fight.
聖杯が私を汚すものならばいらない。私が欲しかったものはもう。
Yes, everything was there. Her pride as a knight and her oath as the king. Even the dream the girl Arturia wished for.
Saber!
The trust and love for him that has never wavered. Not herself as king, but the girl who could never protect anything in the end, wholeheartedly became his sword.
Let's go!
The morning sun rises, the halted wind begins again, a gold that seems to last forever. In it. In the end,
最後に一つだけ伝えないと。
she says in a voice filled with determination. He replies like always with his best bluff. She's facing him. She looks straight at him and in a voice without regret.
シロ、あなたを愛している。
She says those words. Wind blows. He closes his blinded eyes and opens them again. There's no surprise. He saw this coming. That their parting would be like this. An open field fills his eyes. As the wind blew, the night disappeared, just as she appeared, leaving no trace.
本当にお前らしい。
There are no regrets in his voice. He squints at the rising sun, keeping everything he lost close to his heart. He stares at the horizon, wishing never to forget, and for it to never fade away. A distant land glowing in sunlight, resembling the golden fields she ran through. This isn't a story to be told to someone. It's a small wish like one made upon a star. It was a long journey. The time spent, the ideals pursued, and the life he tried to achieve must have been quite a burden. No matter how far he walked, the distance did not close. Without rest, without giving up, without hesitation, with strained eyes, he walked down that long road. His journey continued on, endlessly. The reason why is very simple. Where should he go? What should he do in order to stop his footsteps? He should have decided those answers at the very beginning, but he apparently had not. Yeah, so it looks like we're going through just a very brief summary of each of the chapters. Nothing is indestructible. No matter how durable a machine is, it will slowly wear away with use. Machines, bodies, and spirits are all alike in this manner. Everything will be damaged with time. Every time one looks at something, its color fades a little more. Therefore, even his heart, which did not recognize anything as painful, would perhaps finally notice after many years of repetition. Even if your actions are meaningful, in the end, you yourself are worthless. Hope and despair are inseparable. Noble ideals become tiring duties, and in the end, a sordid obsession. What people idolize in childhood become a mundane reality, and though they may look back on it, they lose that respect. That is the correct mentality for anyone that's human. But because he was not correct, he carefully locked away his heart that could feel pain. His heart of iron was proof he was a man of tin. Like this long journey could continue. In exchange, he felt less pleasure, but fortunately he was not a greedy man, and he was happy to be rewarded once in a while. He yearned for something beautiful. He saw many people in towns. Beautiful things existed everywhere, but he could not encounter the starlight he had parted with on that day. The reason his journey did not end was likely not because he lacked a goal. It was because he had not found what he was really looking for. But it was a satisfying life. It was a long dream, the curse upon her, the ideal she offered up, and the remaining end must have been quite heavy. No matter how long she slept, she did not awaken once. Not moving, not refusing, not wishing, while calmly taking deep breaths. She slept through the long dream. The duty of the king has not ended. In order to fulfill that promise, the king could not return to the time before the sword, even in death. Time passed, the country prospered, and the people changed. Even if there was no longer anyone who desired a noble king, that oath remained. After all, in order to make it so, she had been entrusted with many lives. However, the dream she caught glimpses of was a sad one. She saw flashes of scenery from the depths of sleep. She wanted at least the voice of her heart to reach the lonely travels of the man who was now very far away. He may have stowed away his humanity and become a machine that merely repeated the same thing. His pain may not have been noticed by anyone. But I was there, and I know his strength. However, she had an eternal promise. If the past was unchangeable, then it truly was eternal. The king was eternally bound by her past oath and resolution. She herself was the one who would least forgive the act of returning to the way she was before pulling out the sword. But she wanted to meet him, even if she slept for eternity. She wanted him to hear her voice.
それは難しいな。そもそも君たちの時間は絶望的なまでにずれている。
The Magus spoke to her. He told her her wish was impossible.
普通にやったらまず出会えない。
Oh,
実現す
I
るに
wonder.
は、まあなんていうか、2つの奇跡が必要だ。
So she's assuming she wants to meet Shiro again. Shiro is like on his deathbed, talking about how like he's thinking back on his life. So I wonder, because there's a whole thing about like she can exist in different timelines or whatever. And I'm pretty sure with the Fate series, there's a whole bunch of like alternate stories that happen in this world. So maybe that's what's going to happen, is somehow they'll meet each other like in another timeline, in another world or something like that.
一方が待ち続けて、一方が追い続ける。
I mean, that sounds like that could happen. Shiro's definitely good at pursuing. He's good at being stubborn, and she just has to be patient.
それもありえないと確信しながら、ひどく長い時間耐え抜かないといけない。それはほら、言いにくいけど、望むべきではない夢物語だろ?
The Magus asked her. It was impossible, whether or not it could come true and whether or not she could keep waiting for it, unrelated to the duty of the king.
ああ、勘違いはしないようにね。王の責任を捨てろって話じゃない。そもそも君は骨の髄まで王様だ。そんな君から誇りを取ったら何も残らない。君はそのままでいいんだよ。僕が言っているのは正当な褒美の話だ。小娘一人が幸せに生きる権利、それぐらいの働きはしていると思うんだが。
So the Magus says, it is the same as the time when she took up the sword. Back then it was with a sneer at the suffering that was likely to come, and now a smile at the future that may be granted. There was no point in replying. All that mattered was whether the girl who had not yet taken up the sword would wish or not. Either way, she did not have the power to grant it. In that case, how was it any different from wishing upon a star?
でも、それが本当にいいことなのかはまた別の話だ。アルトリア、時代も人も変わっている。あの頃のままなのは君だけだ。夢は夢のままの方が美しい。君はこのまま死んだように眠っている方が楽でいい。それでも
No reply is necessary. Even if it's not put into words, this wish alone will not disappear. On the contrary, that alone is enough. Because until that day when not visited by anyone, not sought by anyone in the end, the image of the king disappears from the imagination of the people. She will endure the slumber forevermore with this warm wish as a dream to nourish her. In the end, he could not change his way of living, and she was never rewarded. And then, for both him and her, a long time passed. Oh, okay, epilogue. So I'm assuming that this is, I thought that they were going to be doing like the different timelines, but this is the Fate timeline, right? Where the two of them were, they loved each other, but they couldn't be together because if something does happen where like they meet each other in another timeline or whatever, they get to be together, I'm like, oh, well, if that's either of the runs where it's like I was with Rin at the end or Sakura, it would lose its punch a little bit. Suddenly, eyes opened. How far has he walked? He chose to walk only through desolate lands, but after exiting a deep forest, he finds himself standing in a familiar grassy plain. He isn't certain about the place. How many months and years has it been since then? And how far of a distance has he gone since then? It is all unclear now. He lowers his burden from his shoulders and rests his tense body. He thought he'd walk forever, but it seems this is the end of his journey. The view is clear and wide. The wind that rustles the grass unties the bonds that were twined so heavily around him. His heart calmly returns to that time with each step. He stares at the endless blue sky, thinking about the unspoken promise. It was the delusion of the young, a wish that was akin to a bluff. They had looked at the same sky and felt the same thing. So if he pursued it, it would definitely come true. In his hometown, that is what he thought. Then, she wakes from her dream as well. She holds on to her wish as she looks up at the sky. She notices the direction of the wind has changed, and holds back the tears that threaten to spill. A different wind has begun to blow through this once unchanging plain. She continues to wait for her visitor, as if praying. Farewell is all she says. She thanks the small hope that she had only wished for until now. Without realizing, he hurries forward. His breathing quickens slightly. Unbelievable. How many years has it been since he's been short of breath? It's as if he's gone back to the time when he was still young and inexperienced. No, but just because he's gained experience doesn't mean he's an adult, he laughs at himself. Come to think of it, how long has she wished to the sky? I want to meet him. I want to meet him. If it was possible, just once more. She wanted to hold that way of life in her arms and make sure of what she has yearned for. Unconsciously, her heartbeat speeds up. Still, she does not move from this place. She cannot bring herself to spoil his role. She truly wants to break into a run, but just like then, she chooses to wait for his words. But there is some unease as well. This wish, this miracle, should it really be brought back? He's not who he was back then. His heart and body have worn down just as she has grieved. He's not always been thinking of this scene either. It was not attachment. He simply did not forget. He's only held on to this gradually fading memory of the past. So, even if it ends as a dream, he still has his expected despair and the slightest hope, so... No, he cannot deceive himself any longer. Something he's only remembered in words revives itself vividly in his mind. That which he has stowed carefully away begins to move once more. Familiar blood runs through his tin heart, a golden land, in the home of the woman he parted with long ago. His heart has finally caught up with him. Many emotions well up, but only one phrase rises to his throat. How much they had wanted to meet and how long she'd waited are meaningless now. Yes, in the end, he was not able to change his way of living, and in the same way, she was not rewarded. But...
けど、よかった。あとは、あんまり待たせていなかったのならいいんだけど。
After protecting until the very end, there was something waiting for him. Something precious was left at the end of his life. He retrieved something important. It is fortunate that he has stored it within himself. His smile, as simple as a boy's, just as it once was.
ただいま、Saber.
The words he spoke are truly the same as back then. It is as if the day is about to continue. Her footsteps on the ground are light. The girl smiles as if falling apart.
はい。おかえりなさい、シロ。
And so the dream announces its end. Oh, that was cute. Unexpected. I was not expecting that. I didn't know where that whole extra chapter was going to go. I thought it was just going to be a summary of like everything we had done, but that was so much better than I expected. Still, like, after just finishing Heaven's Feel, you know, like, I actually liked the idea of Shiro and Sakura together. So it's kind of a little bit of a whiplash. Following the star, traveling to the star, moving forward and seeing each other off. Or sorry, seeing others off, losing many things and creating many things. At the end of it all, incomparable to the immense amount of time spent, is a tiny, tiny fragment. How very dazzling. He looks at the radiance in the small palm, extracted with great pain, so bright as to burn the eye. And so, they meet at the end of a long road. So ends the journey of the man who yearned after the star. From now on, he and she will begin another long, long story. And in the end, this world will keep on turning, so that he may become someone's star once again. Wonder if this is like a preview for like the future stories in the world of Fate. Maybe like it will continue on with Shiro and Saber. Another story. Alright, okay, I think that's truly it now. I assume that like that's actually the end. There's not going to be another last chapter. At least for this game. I know that we do have other Fate stories. It's almost overwhelming how much there is in this world, like, to keep track of. Alright guys, that is truly the end of my Fate Stay Night playthrough. Thank you all so much for tuning into the very end of this very long playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked it. I knew I was gonna like it because I really enjoyed Fate Zero. So I had a feeling I was gonna like this. In terms of like if I had to rank the routes, it could be recency bias that I just finished Heaven's Feel. I liked it. Some people have their feelings about it, from what I've read, but I liked it. I would say if I had to rank them, I would say Unlimited Blade Works I think was my favorite, and then I would say Heaven's Feel and then Fate. That might be controversial. Maybe it's because Fate is like the first one I played, so my memories, even with this last episode kind of like giving me a little bit of a flashback to it, I just felt like Heaven's Feel really tackled some interesting dark topics, and it went in directions I wasn't expecting it to go. So I think that's why I liked it so much. But overall, loved this game, and I'm sad to finish it. But now it's time for what you guys have been waiting for. What game am I going to play next? I did do a poll recently, and overwhelmingly you guys voted for Tsukihime, so that is what I'm going to be playing next, by the same creators of Fate Stay Night. Now, there were comments about whether I was going to play either the original or the remake. Now the thing is, I'm going to play the original for two reasons. One, it is a finished game, because the remake, people said like basically only half of it is done right now, and I don't know how long it's going to be for the other half to come out. And two, the remake is only available on consoles, and I have a tough time recording on my console. PC is just so much easier for me. People are saying like there were pros and cons to both, but the original is complete and it's like the OG experience. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be playing the original Tsukihime. People were asking why Hollow Ataraxia was not on the poll. The reason why is because the like remastered version is coming out, I believe, next year, or has been announced at least, and I want to wait for the official remastered version to come out before I play it. So that could be a playthrough down the line, but for those of you guys who are asking why basically the sequel to this game was not on the poll, that's why. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching through Fate Stay Night. I hope you are excited for Tsukihime. I will be starting a playthrough of that next week, so look forward to that. Thanks again for watching through to the end. I hope you enjoyed my playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did playing it, and I will see you for my new playthrough next week. Until then, bye guys. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Lynn's VA, Kenju Storm, and iCognito.